We were blessed with great friends and a civic and church community we loved. Christian had a great job as a facility manager, doing work he enjoyed, and he was just weeks away from getting his pilot's license. Life was undeniably good. One Saturday afternoon in June, he called to say he and his instructor, Doug, would be flying over the house soon. A few minutes later, I heard the buzz of the engine overhead, and I hustled everyone out to the driveway. "Hey guys, come look, it's Daddy." 6-year-old Claire, 5-year-old Jane, and 3-year-old Oliver ran outside, with 20-month-old Nicholas toddling after them, wearing only a diaper, as usual. The airplane circled high over our heads. The children looked up and waved while I jumped up and down in the driveway, shouting and waving both arms. "That's your dad, guys, flying an airplane!" I waved and jumped some more while my children and a few kids from the neighborhood stared at me. "Hello, Christian!" I shouted into the clouds. The older kids ran off to play in the backyard, but I scooped Nicholas into my arms and smiled at that airplane for as long as I could see it in the sky. A year and a half earlier, as a surprise for his 28th birthday, I had given Christian a helicopter flight over Scottsdale. He had always dreamed of flying, so it was a gift I knew he would love. Near the end of the flight, the pilot gave Christian the stick. He came out of the helicopter a new man. For the rest of the night, Christian couldn't stop talking about the exhilarating freedom of flying and how alive he'd felt in the air. But he didn't need to tell me about it. I could see it all over his face. His mother tells the story of her little boy swallowing a handful of birdseed in hopes that he would sprout wings. I had awakened that sleeping giant, and when Christian told me he wanted to enroll in flight lessons, I didn't think twice about supporting him. A year later, Christian was interviewing flight instructors and found the perfect fit in Doug Kennard, a retired Air Force major and trained fighter pilot, and Christian's co-worker at Boeing. Christian had finished ground school a few weeks earlier and had just begun in-flight training. Even after the Cessna 2-seater flew out of sight that warm Saturday evening, my smile didn't fade. Christian's dreams were coming true, and I was so happy for him. I nuzzled kisses on Nicholas's chubby cheeks. "Did you see Daddy in his airplane gigs?" His big brown eyes fixed on mine as he nodded. Nicholas had earned the family nickname Gigs when he was a brand new baby, and 2-year-old Oliver could only manage Giggleless. "Let's go inside and finish dinner," I said. In the kitchen, I put Gigs in his wooden high chair, tied an apron around my waist. Raising 9 children, my mother had practically lived in her apron, and I thought of her every time I put one on. I added the finishing touches to the homemade veggie pizza we had for dinner every Saturday. So many of my favorite memories from childhood were anchored in family traditions. I wanted my kids to have the same kind of memories, and Saturday night pizza was just one way I was hoping to create that for them. I made whole wheat pizza dough and smothered it in fresh mozzarella, basil, and corn, and squash. I expected Christian in just a few minutes, and the pizza would be ready soon. I had just enough time to quickly check my email and respond to a message about the yoga class I was teaching the following week, before I heard the familiar rumble of Christian's motorcycle drive into the neighborhood. I shut my laptop, took off my apron, and did a quick mirror check before I went outside to greet him. In seconds, the children joined me. They raced to the driveway, swarming their father and pleading for a ride. When Christian pulled in, we kissed a quick hello, and then he took each child around the block on the motorcycle. They sat safely between their father's arms, and their squeals of delight carried through the neighborhood. It reminded me of when I was in diapers, and my brother Matt would pile us kids on his Honda dirt bike and drive us around the neighborhood. When he finally parked his motorcycle in the garage, Christian wrapped his arms around me and kissed my neck.